Okay. Okay, take two again. Oh, I'm gonna spill my coffee. Okay, welcome back to our channel. I hope you're doing well. Today is bittersweet because today we got Lorena's ears pierced, but we also tried filming this in a different room and I was out of focus the entire time. So if you can imagine how upset I am right now, I filmed an entire 22-minute video out of focus. So we're gonna try this again. Breathe. Okay, so I hope you guys are all doing well. This video is gonna be 10 things no one tells you about pregnancy. So number one, no one tells you that you are going to hate, or sorry, hate's a strong word, dislike your significant other, aka the man that got you pregnant. Yes, at some point, maybe not the whole entire pregnancy, but at some point you are going to want to kill him. I'm just kidding. You are just gonna butt heads with him. Everything he does is probably gonna drive you nuts, whether he's sleeping or chewing or just sitting there doing nothing. It's gonna drive you crazy. Like, I would get aggravated when he was sleeping because I couldn't sleep, or I would get aggravated when he was chewing because I would be ready to throw up. There's just many things that you might dislike while you're pregnant and you're carrying around this little human and they just get to sit there and chill and look cute and be comfortable and not have to sacrifice anything at all. Yeah, you kind of get frustrated when you're pregnant because you're emotional and all that, which is another thing no one tells you, is that you're going to be emotional. Yes, that's a big one, but that's not on my list of 10 things. Number two, obviously there's a million and one things that you can't do. If you get the like what to expect when during pregnancy book, it just tells you, like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Obviously, you can't drink, drug, or smoke, or go on roller coasters, or anything like that. But what people don't tell you is that you can't consume more than 4 ounces of caffeine in a day. That means, like, no coffee or soda. Like, literally none. Like, that to me is a sip. That's to me, that is, like, not, that's, like, what I swish in my mouth when I'm brushing my teeth. Like, that's nothing compared to what I drink of caffeine in a day. Breathe. Breathe, Taryn. Breathe. Okay. Number 3. So, no one tells you that you are going to have to go to 1,000,001 appointments. Mom, countless appointments.
She looks a mess.
Thank you. So yeah, countless appointments, especially if you're high risk, like I was. I was high risk, unfortunately, with both of my girls. But yeah, they don't tell you that you're going to have countless appointments, and they don't tell you that you're going to have to pee in a cup every single time. Every single time you are going to have to pee in a cup. So every appointment you go to, you're gonna have to pee in a cup. You also aren't told, well, actually I think I was told about the nasty drink. But they don't tell you that after you drink this nasty drink that you might have to drink twice because the test may be incomplete, or they may not be sure, that you might have to take another test or whatever after they take your blood and all that. Not only that, but you might have to drink it again, and you have to sit for a whole hour and wait to see if the test is false. So not once but twice possibly having to drink this drink, but also being poked, prodded, getting blood taken, getting examined like you're an experiment, and then finally, yeah, finding out the results of all that and getting checked. Can't forget, getting checked was probably the worst part for me because I had like 1 million people checking me. All of them said I was a different centimeters dilated. None of them knew what they were talking about. One minute I was 4 centimeters dilated, then I was 2 centimeters dilated. No one knew what they were talking about, and I was gonna go crazy. So yeah, moving on to number 4, nausea and puking. So no one tells you that you may get hyperemesis gravidarum, which is so much fun, you guys. So much fun. This is great things pregnancy does to your body. So yeah, no one tells you that you may be puking your brains out. You're not just morning time, but the afternoon time and the night time. And they don't tell you that it's going to last 9 months, that there's a possibility that it could last 9 months. No, no one tells you that. No, they don't. So if you hate throwing up, then you're in big trouble. And if you have a job, then you're in big trouble, because that's how I lost my job as a special events coordinator, was from excessively puking and being late because I was puking to work all the time. So I was puking before work, at work, after work. I was puking all day. I couldn't hold down grapes, water, watermelon, nothing. Nothing was staying in my stomach. I actually lost weight during pregnancy instead of gaining weight, and not on purpose. I would have gained all the pounds possible if I could have, but I was so busy throwing up. So, just thinking about it, it was hard to brush my teeth, you guys. That's what hyperemesis gravidarum does too, which Kate Middleton had it. Sorry, Kate Middleton had hyperemesis gravidarum, and I felt so bad for that poor woman because it's the worst. And I know I had it, and it's kind of like you can't really diagnose it, I don't think. You kind of, it's like, I don't know, I think you have to self-diagnose it, because I told my doctor that I think I have it, and they kind of didn't like do a test or anything like that. But I was sure that I had it. I mean, I definitely had it. When you can't brush your teeth in the morning, afternoon, or night, there's an issue. You are definitely like throwing up too much, or even drink water. Like I couldn't even drink water. So, or hold down water, excuse me. Okay, which brings me to number 5, which is, no one tells you that pregnancy is going to ruin your teeth. Yes, I had perfect teeth before I was pregnant. And no one tells you that your teeth are going to get ruined. I had perfect teeth before I got pregnant, and now my teeth are ruined. I literally never had a cavity, never had an issue with my gums, never had any issues at all with my mouth, teeth, or gums, or anything. And now I just feel like I have excessive issues going on in my mouth, and it's disturbing. I don't like the dentist. The dentist is expensive. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the sound of it, the look of it. I just don't like anything about it, you guys. So needing to go to the dentist even more often, and you're actually supposed to go during pregnancy. It's actually really important that you go during pregnancy, but they don't tell you that either. So yeah, that's another thing. Number 6, go right along with number 5. It changes your body. 100% it changes your body, and your body doesn't forget that it carried a human. It never forgets. It's never gonna forget that it carried a little tiny human being. And you know, it may forget, it may just seem like it forgot with just one baby, your first baby, but it's definitely, your body's definitely hasn't forgotten after the second and third baby. It knows what it's doing. It knows, it doesn't forget by then. It definitely knows what's happening, and yeah, it reminds you every day. Unless you fight for your old body. If you fight for your old body and get into fitness and all of that, then okay, maybe it'll bounce back. But usually by the second or third child, you're either getting plastic surgery or high into fitness. Yeah. But I must say, pregnancy's not all bad. I don't want to scare anybody away to thinking pregnancy's like this awful thing. It can have good changes to your body too. Feel a little bit off, leaking fluids, feel a kick, it might be a contraction, go to the ER. And you know, it happens with everything. It happens, trust me. No one told me this either. And I was going for every little thing. I had a little cramp in my side, or wasn't drinking enough water, so I had like a little tummy cramp, or back cramp, or a side cramp, or abdominal cramp. Calling the doctor, is everything okay? Okay, do I need to come in? This is what's wrong with me. You know what they're gonna tell you? Yes, you have to come in, because it's a liability in a lawsuit if they don't tell you to come in. Because like I said, it'll be a liability if they don't tell you to come in and something serious ends up being wrong, and then their ass is getting handed to them, basically. So yeah. Then even after the doctor tells you that everything's fine, you're going to ask over and over if they're sure that everything's fine. And of course, there's always those 1 or 2 women who will request an extra ultrasound just to make sure the baby's okay, just to double check the baby's okay. And no, the doctor isn't gonna let you get an extra ultrasound. Usually, I mean, when I was high risk, I actually got a lot of ultrasounds being high risk, but you don't get many ultrasounds, and the doctor definitely isn't gonna request one unless there's a real reason to request one. So yeah, you only get like 3 sets of pictures of your baby in your tummy, sometimes only 2. Like with my second, I wasn't as high risk as I was with my first. So my first with Bria, I had a ton of pictures of her in my belly. And with Lorena, I only had 3 sets, I think. Well, no, I think with your first baby or with a normal healthy pregnancy, you get, I think, 3 ultrasounds. I think the first one when they're like a tiny little ball, you know, a little tiny grape. And then when they're like a watermelon, and maybe when they're like an orange or a banana. So you get like 3 different times of ultrasounds. But when you're high risk, you get like 8 or 9 times you get checked or whatever, get your ultrasound. So yeah, you're going to be bugging the doctor for those things, and they're not going to give it to you. So yeah, number 9. Everyone is going to tell you to sleep because you're not going to get to sleep when the baby comes. No one tells you that you're not going to be able to sleep. For some reason, when you're pregnant, you have so much energy and so much life, and well, then you do get really tired, but you can't sleep, or you're just not comfortable, or you need that big body pillow that you can hug and wrap your leg around. Yeah, it's really hard to sleep. Which brings me back to number 1, is when you want to kill your significant other because he's sleeping with a big smile on his face, and then you want to eat some food, and then you're throwing it up and he's just happily chewing it. Yeah, those are the moments that I'm talking about. But what I was talking about is when you can't sleep when you're pregnant. It's usually towards the end of pregnancy, like the 9th month. And then you realize it's time to push. Or then you realize it's time to get the baby out, and you're exhausted and you are not ready to get this baby out. Yeah, that's number 9 that no one tells you. The baby has to come out, and it's time for it to come out, and you're not ready. You've been ready for 9 months for the baby to come out, and now it's time for the baby to come out, and you're not ready. Suddenly, you're like, no, wait, oh my God, there's got to be a different way to get the baby out. Like, I don't want it to come out of my vagina, and I don't want to like cut myself open to get it out either. And suddenly it's like a traumatic, surreal moment where you're like, oh my God, there's no way to get this out but me. Like, I am going to be in so much pain in order to get this child out of me. Yeah, you'll be asking if there's an easier way, or you'll be asking for the epidural by then. You'll be asking for the epidural for sure by that time. Most women who think they're going to do it naturally won't do it, because by that time they're in so much pain that it's all so surreal and really happening, and reality's checked in, and suddenly you're like, I can't do this. No, I can't do this. I need the epidural. Which brings me to number 10, which is kind of 2 in 1. You've thought of that baby name, or you haven't thought of that baby name, and you've had 9 months to do it, and you still don't have that perfect name. And then you have the baby, and you think you're going to have a name, and suddenly you're like, there's no perfect name for you. Like, I need the most perfect name, and suddenly it's just really hard to name this precious, beautiful, and that's what no one tells you. It's the most unexplainable, greatest, eye-opening feeling. Like, your whole life changes. Having a child is the most incredible moment of your life, especially if you're a woman and you've carried the baby. It's the most incredible moment. You just gave birth to a little human. You just brought a little human being into the world. You created that in your belly. Like, this doesn't get enough recognition. Like, you just carried a little human inside of you and then delivered it into the world. Like, it's the most incredible thing in the universe, and people hear the word pregnant and they're like, oh,
she's pregnant, yeah, I don't want to talk to her no more, she's pregnant, like, oh God, she's knocked up, or whatever the words are.
And it's like, pregnancy is so special. Like, there should be a different word for it, I feel like. Like, there should be another word as well, because it's so much more of a big deal and it's so much more precious and delicate than people treat it, I feel like. So yeah, that's number 10. It's like impossible to name your baby, or it is too easy to name your baby. You don't realize it's the most greatest moment in your life and you're like, okay, now I need to name this baby. So yeah, I just wanted to end it on a good, happy note. It is a very special moment and it should be enjoyed, but there are at least 9 or 10 things that are tough about it that no one points out, and I just wanted to laugh about it now and point it out because I made it through too, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It was the most incredible feeling in my entire life. I seriously miss having that baby in my belly. I miss having babies in my belly. And I miss, you know, that day at the hospital where it's like all about the baby and all about you, and everybody treats you with such amazing respect and love and, you know, grace, and it's just amazing. Like, the day I had Bria, I felt like God spoke to me. It was the most precious moment of my life. Like, the sun was rising, I was nursing her, she was in my arms, we were cuddling, and I could see the sun rising in my hospital window. It was the most amazing thing. I'll link my part of my birth story above for Bria, and I'll also link my Mother's Day tag that I did, which talks a lot about the same stuff. They're pretty good videos. I checked them out. They're a little bit long though. I wish I could have made them shorter, but there was so much I was saying and feeling. I got really into it. Yeah, that about sums up my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you did, and subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate a comment below. I love hearing from you guys all the time. And that's about it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye.